Hello, North Central Washington, and welcome to Networked. My name is Jenny Rojanasatian, and I am excited to be on air with you today. On Networked, I interview different guests to talk about technology, entrepreneurship, and STEM education, as well as events happening out in the region. Today's guest is Rob Tidd. He's a council member for the city of East Wenatchee. And before I bring him out on air, I'd like to talk a little bit about how I first met Rob and our work together with the Flywheel Investment Conference. Rob wears many hats in the community, and one of those is as the Flywheel Angel Network Fund Manager for 2021. And what is the Flywheel Angel Network? Well, the Flywheel Angel Network is a group of individuals from the region who have committed to supporting economic development. Every year, they pull their money together into an LLC to put up a prize for the Flywheel Investment Conference. And the NCW Tech Alliance, the organization I have the pleasure of working with, we go out across the state with that prize package and invite startups to compete for funding. The big piece about the funding is that one company is guaranteed to win. And last year, we gave over $200,000 in investment awards to the winners of the Flywheel Conference. The magic unfolds in the spring every year when at the end of the competition, the companies come into our region, compete live on stage at the Stanley Civic Center, and then one or two are crowned as the winner. The Flywheel Investment Conference is presented annually by Moss Adams, Ogden Murphy Wallace, Confluence Health, and Microsoft. These sponsors are so important in helping us get the work off the ground, and you, as a community member, can participate in Flywheel even if you're not an investor. It's a full-day conference with panels, speakers, lunch, an after party, and it's a great way to learn more about entrepreneurship, startups, investing, and to see some really exciting companies who are getting off the ground. I do have to head to a short break, but when I come back, Rob's going to share more about his background, journey with City Council, and then we'll dive into the 2022 Flywheel Investment Conference. Don't go far. And welcome back to the NCW Life studio, where I'm very excited to introduce our featured guest today, Rob Tidd. Welcome to Networked.
Thank you for having me, Jenny.
Yeah, I'm really excited. You and I have had a chance to work together on a lot of different community initiatives. But I would love for our community to learn a little bit more about you. You've got a couple hats that you wear, one of them being City Council for City of East Wenatchee. So let's start with you and your background.
Well, Jenny, that's a great question. Yeah. I've always considered myself a local boy. Mm-hmm. I lived here in Wenatchee when I was a young boy. We moved to Waterville, where I went to Waterville High School, went off to college, lived a number of places, finally found my way back to the Wenatchee Valley, and just very happy to be here.
Yeah. In your travels, you headed down, obviously went to university, and then you were in California most recently, right? Before returning in 2009, was it, to the area?
Yes, it was about 2009.
Okay.
I met my wife down there. Yeah. I was attending law school in San Francisco, worked down there for a number of years, married my wife. We decided that we wanted to get out of the rat race. Mm-hmm. She said, let's go back where you started in Washington State, and we've now been here for actually about 12 years. We now live in East Wenatchee. We live in our forever home. We plan to be there for the rest of our lives, and we're just pleased to be in the Wenatchee Valley.
Now, the California piece I wanted to throw in there, because you've been doing the remote work before remote work was the thing everyone does, right? You work for an organization in California. Tell me a little bit about your role there.
I work for a real estate development company. We do only build real estate investment property in California. However, I'm able to work from home here in East Wenatchee. My wife and I were both remote employees. She worked for IBM for about 17 years, and now she works for the port here in East Wenatchee. And I continue to work remotely for this company in California and don't see any reason to stop doing it.
Right. Well, so you've got it down. It's old hat, the remote work, while the rest of us had to get used to what is a home office during the pandemic, right? But you took on another role a couple years ago, in addition to obviously your career in service, which I know service is really important to you.
It is.
Yeah.
As you know, I'm a Rotarian, which I believe in giving back to those less fortunate in ourselves. But I also decided when we moved to East Wenatchee that I really wanted to get entrenched in what was going on in my community. I thought perhaps getting on the city council would be a way to do that, and an opening did come up. I did put my name in the hat, and I was selected in 2019 to be a city councilman. And I was just elected for the first time last year for another 4-year term. So I'm really
Congratulations.
excited. Thank you.
Congratulations on the election. Yes.
Thank you. Excited to be on the council for another 4 years and continue to do great things for our city in East Wenatchee.
You've got some outstanding leaders in the city of East Wenatchee, including Mayor Jared Lee Crawford. Tell me a little bit. I imagine stepping into an elected official, there must be so much to learn. What has it been like the last couple of years, and then navigating that in a pandemic?
It's been interesting.
Yeah.
And, we are slowly moving back into meeting in person. Obviously, we've been meeting via Zoom for quite some time. Just learning how to navigate everything that's going on in the city and really getting knowledgeable about every aspect of that, including, how do we deal with homelessness? How do we deal with affordable housing? How do we deal with the COVID pandemic? And trying to do what is best for our citizenry in the city of East Wenatchee. That's my main focus, is just to make sure that we're doing the best that we can for our citizens.
Well, thank you for your service in that capacity, because we need leaders who are passionate about our community to solve these really big challenges. You also do, in addition to your role as city council member, you wear a lot of hats in that role, right? Serving on other committees and outreach efforts. One of those is the East Wenatchee Events Board. Can you tell me a little bit about what the Events Board is?
That's a great question, Jenny. Yes, the East Wenatchee Events Board, we call it EWEB, was put together ideally to bring tourism into our community. And we're able to help those events come into our city by providing financial assistance. Mm-hmm. It's been a struggle trying to get events to come to East Wenatchee, as it is in every community, but we are really fortunate that this year we have 3 major events that are coming into the Valley. We do have the Eastmont AAU basketball tournament that's happening later this month. We also have the Classy Chassis Car and Parade show that's going to happen in June.
Which is a community favorite for many years.
It really is, and has been. And then we're also involved with the Triple Crown baseball tournament that's going to happen in April.
Okay.
So we encourage other sporting events and events of all kinds to please apply for these lodging tax dollars so that we can help promote more tourism coming into our valley.
You've got some incredible assets in terms of sports facilities out in East Wenatchee. What is the process of someone who's thinking about creating an event or bringing an event here to get connected with EWEB?
EWEB.
Okay.
Well,
we all like acronyms for things, right?
Yes. Well, we have somebody in charge of the EWEB department, and that's Trina Elms, and she is a wonderful person to work with. She encourages any and all organizations to apply for funding. If it's going to bring in tourism into our East Wenatchee area, then that is what we're looking for. And frankly, anyone there in the city is going to be able to help them. But Trina is probably the first and foremost person that any organization is going to want to contact.
And what are some of the grants look like? Just for, are they a range, I guess, $1,000 to $5,000 grants, or what's that typical process look like?
Well, it depends on how large a event that they're going to have. Mm-hmm. We've seen applications as low as $1,000, but we've also awarded grants as high as $10,000, $15,000. Uh-huh. So it just depends on how much tourism they're going to bring into the valley will dictate how large a grant that we can give them.
And you've got a lot of new hotels too to support that tourism coming in, which is I think a lot of them came online the last couple of years during the pandemic.
That's why we have a lot of money to give away.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Well, I'd love to talk a little bit about the Flywheel Conference, which is an event, a regional, a really statewide event, I guess I should say, that the city of East Wenatchee is supporting very generously, but we do have to head out to a commercial break. So when we come back, Rob and I are going to talk more about Flywheel. He's got a couple connections to the Flywheel Investment Conference, including the support from City of East Wenatchee. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Okay, we are rolling.
All right. Well, welcome back to Networked. I'm here today with Rob Tidd, council member for the City of East Wenatchee, and an advocate and supporter of the Tech Alliance. Rob, thank you so much for all that you do for our community.
My pleasure.
Also Rotarian, we talked about that earlier today.
We did.
Very active. We're going to switch gears and talk about the Flywheel Investment Conference, which I know is an event you're really passionate about. Yes, it's a fun event. But to lay the landscape, I thought we would show a video from 2019. It's kind of a recap to give you a feel of what Flywheel is about.
As entrepreneurs, we're putting all your eggs in one basket. As angel investors, we're spreading our eggs into lots of baskets, right?
We're here because we're reinventing housing. It's one of the biggest consumer purchases you make, but it's the most anti-consumer industry.
Animal feed is a $400 billion global market, and it has a lot of problems.
We believe that you should be able to buy your prescription medications in the same way that you buy everything else in your life.
If you're a startup in Wenatchee and you're wondering, like, I wanted to do business in Seattle, I wanted to do business in Canada, I wanted to do business in Germany, absolutely.
Running a business is like running a marathon. Surround yourself with a team and people who are there handing you oranges or cups of water along the way.
There's no shortage of companies out there looking for capital. We really help to make sure that the companies are in the right spot.
So we have the $105,000 award plus another $25,000 that will go to Theta Hedge.
I know we were just big smiles here watching that replay of 2019. We don't have recap videos from 2020 and 2021 because obviously with the pandemic, we did 1 year completely online and 1 year hybrid. But this year, the Flywheel Investment Conference is back, May 18th, 19th. And this year, Rob, we've got the biggest slate of awards that we've ever done.
This is incredible. It's gotten bigger every year.
Yeah.
This year, the first award winner is going to get over $200,000. There's still that $50,000 relocation option out there for a company that relocates to our immediate area, which I think is another incentive. I'm really excited, and what I'm really excited about is that the new fund managers this year, Abby Jenkins and her dad, Tim, are going to be the co-fund managers, and they are incredibly smart, knowledgeable about how this whole process works. It's going to be fantastic.
We've been really lucky to have community leaders step in to help raise the funds we have at the Flywheel Conference. And for those who want some additional background, every year a group of investors put up the investment award, then startups from across the state apply to compete. I think last year we had over 50 applications. They come to Wenatchee and go head to head. You and your wife, Belinda, have been one of the leaders of our investment group. You led the fund in 2021. Tell us a little bit, for those who are maybe not familiar with what being an angel investor or the investor network is. Tell us a little bit about the Flywheel Angels who've put up that money.
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
Angel investing is very lucrative and somewhat volatile because what it is, they are investors that come in for companies that are in their early stage or early really the early stage of promoting their ideas or their product. And in those early stages, these companies need financing and they need investors, and that's where we come in. If we can help them get their products and their ideas to the next stage or to market, they're gonna make money, our investors are gonna make money. So it's a win-win situation for both.
And these companies are unique in that it's not, it's for entrepreneurs who are looking to sell, right? It's for entrepreneurs who are looking to make the next tech innovation or startup that a big company is going to want to come in and acquire and purchase, right? So, like you said, high reward, a lot of high risk, a lot of innovation in there. And so the investors that have come together to put up the investment order, talk a little bit about that process. So the Tech Alliance puts out the applications, you guys get to screen them. What was that like this past couple of years?
Well, as you know, last year my wife and I were the fund managers for the Flywheel conference, and it was very much a learning experience and a wonderful experience that I would encourage everybody to take on at some time if they're interested in angel investing. Obviously, we will not be the fund managers this year. We will be investors again because we are so interested in these new innovations and these new companies bringing these new ideas to our valley, to our state, that we want to continue doing that. It's something that it's not an investment for everybody. However, if you're interested in bringing these new ideas and new products to market and bringing these businesses to our valley, this is something that you definitely want to be involved in.
I love that piece about these new companies and learning about them. I think that's one of the big attractions of becoming a part of the Flywheel Investment Network or just attending the conference. Like last year we saw innovations in music, right? Sync Floor was our winner. I think we have a photo actually on stage of you awarding Sync Floor. They won the 2021 Flywheel Investment Conference, a music platform, something I would never thought was a major issue in terms of generating a company to solve it, right?
Well,
I'm struggling there on my words, but
these new companies generally are not creating a new industry. What they are is they're creating disruption within the industry. And that's what this particular company did. It came up with a new concept within the music industry that had never come to the forefront before. And it's incredible. I know they're going to do well. And we're looking for them to exit at some time soon, which means that they're going to get acquired. They're going to go public. They're going to make a lot of money. Our angel investors are going to make a lot of money.
And then you had a second company last year because the companies were just so good. So IASIS, here's a look back at some of our Flywheel winners over the years. We've had Ag Tools, Beta Hatch, Cartogram, Sync Floor. And last year we had another winner, IASIS Molecular Sciences out of Spokane.
It's a medical device that solved a problem. And it had to do with catheters and how to extend the life and make them safer for people who have to use those. Not a glamorous topic,
right,
but something that is going to definitely help the medical industry and help people who actually have to use that particular device.
Yeah, I mean, when he did his presentation back in 2021, talking about the numbers of infections that happen in hospitals because of catheter use, the prevalence and the need for catheters, it's an area you don't think about every day, but like you said, prime for disruption, because if you can create a safety element there that will save lives and help hospitals, you've got a viable product to bring to the market.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we hope that this year we're going to have 50 or more companies that are going to bring similar innovative ideas or disruptive ideas within existing industries. And it's just so much fun to be on the ground floor to hear about these ideas and be able to invest and help these companies make it to the next stage.
And the long-term play, and I think the reason the city of East Wenatchee has come in to be such a big supporter of the Flywheel Conference, is we're trying to help not only grow local companies, but attract more here, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As you know, Microsoft and other companies are moving into our area because the energy is cheap here in Douglas and Chelan County. And so we're seeing a lot more technology-based companies come into our area. And the more opportunities like that take place, things are going to continue to grow, and we're going to see more and more companies with great ideas come into the Wenatchee Valley.
And then, of course, we've got the great lifestyle. This amazing outdoor recreation, beautiful communities that are primed to grow. And so the Flywheel Conference is one way for us to just bring more startups out here just to either move or invest or grow.
That's right.
Awesome. Well, the Flywheel Investment Conference is coming up May 18th, 19th. We do have to conclude for today, but I know Rob will be there at the conference along with hopefully several members of the City of East Wenatchee City Council. Thank you for your support. To learn more about the Flywheel Conference, visit flywheelconference.com.
1999, NCW Tech Alliance has served as our regional hub for technology innovation. As a 501c3, their nonprofit mission is to connect people and technology resources to create a thriving community. You can network with the team and guests from today's show by visiting them at www.ncwtech.org.